And the next section, I want to talk about the world a little bit of Velvet Cove, like the graphics, the kind of like the music, the style, the locations. On this channel, like, you know, we've done a video in the past of like, if you examine items, if like that should like hold relevance to the story. Sometimes it can feel overwhelming going through like large environments, or like even Swan's bedroom where you can almost look at everything, and a lot of it is just stuff like, oh, I like this movie, you know? And you know, when I played games such as like Life is Strange 2, where I'm not shy to admit, you know, I did sort of like not have the same enthusiasm that I did in that world than I did in Arcadia Bay, I was wondering if maybe it's the fact that I'm a little bit older, I'm a little less patient with these games, and I kind of just want to get a move on with things, I don't know. But for some reason, going through Velvet Cove, I didn't mind it as much because I fell in love with the world so much that I was actually more than happy to kind of like, you know, do the whole like moments of reflection, if you will, when I did in Life is Strange Double Exposure. And I don't know, I just really kind of enjoyed, like you say, picking up objects, interacting with it, building the lore of the world. Yeah, I just felt they did a spot on job, and it actually kind of made me kind of fall in love with that thing that I originally had that Arcadia Bay gave me. I don't know if you felt the same, because I was concerned, and I think I mentioned it in my stream, that I wonder how Jack's going to get on with this. You know, like with all these items it's throwing at you, mate.
Yeah, I think it is established that I am pretty impatient. But you know what? It's funny because obviously I've said my criticisms, right? But the exploration, which I thought was going to be a concern, wasn't the main concern that I've ultimately come out with, which I think you can say is a good thing. What I would say, because there are certain locations I really enjoyed reveling in. Certainly in the woods, like when you're by the lake, you get to see the ducks and the squirrels and the birds and all that sort of thing. That was really good. Swan's room, also really good, and it's nice that you can go in there and change your outfit and, you know, not have outfits locked behind a certain DLC, Deck 9. But, you know, I think that they were really good. I do see instances at times where I'm looking at an object and I'm going, okay, was this a pointless exercise? There are other times, though, when I pick something up, and I think it was in Swan's room, there was like a secret stash, and you unfolded this letter, and I think she started to write a horror novel, and it then came up with a choice later on, and I think you could decide what sort of horror novel it was going to be, whether it was going to involve a cryptid or like a psychological horror. And, you know, maybe we can insert this into like the theory video, but like one of my little theories was this: could this be a thing where like almost her story is unraveling before her eyes a little bit, or maybe that was a choice where it dictates what potential threat that we're going to face later on? This is all things that I was thinking like early on in the episode. So I do appreciate those objects, because those objects can be thought-provoking, whereas the ones where you pick up, you inspect it and you drop it are the ones that I do have issue with.
Yeah, of course. Like, you know, even like if it's like shaking a little cow toy and getting a trophy out of it, but it's like, yeah, there is a lot like that is overwhelming. And also, just to put a pin on that for a minute, and to go back to your comment about like the wardrobe, I did find that it almost was like a little middle finger to Deck 9 and Life is Strange, that not only do we have all the outfits, you know, that isn't like, you know, being charged 20 to 30 quid more, but on top of that, it's given us a cat that we can freely pet in the 30 quid game. And I was like, I don't know if that is a middle finger to Life is Strange, but like, and we talk value for money, right? Life is Strange Double Exposure was 50 to 80 pounds, British pounds, depending on what edition you played. And everyone firmly agreed, going deluxe or ultimate, definitely not worth the price. Lost Records just was one game, gave you everything for 30 quid, mate. But not only that, but you don't have to pay any more for Take 2. We're just going to get that free. So Take 1, if you break it down, it's like a 15 quid game technically, right? Now, yeah. I think for the world we got, value for money, that is just brilliant. That's really generous, because I actually feel they could have got away with charging way more than they did.
Oh, 100% agreed. 100% agreed. And even then, I think, I don't know if it's still, as of recording, it's the 4th of March, so it might not be anymore. But they even had like a 10% discount, didn't they, if you like order it within a certain window. So do you know what I mean? Like, you're paying just over 30 quid for this game, nearly paid double for double exposure, and as well, double exposure probably will have a shorter run time as well. So in terms of value for money, yeah, like, you can't go wrong. Both games are beautiful as well. I'd argue that at the moment, in terms of like the repetitiveness of the locations, they are kind of similar. We'll have to see what Take 2 delivers. So yeah, by all accounts, I think Lost Records does trump double exposure in that sense.
Massively so.